Welcome to Compact Play. Today we present you the top 10 the greatest 10 historical movies of all time. 10. Ben-Hur. Judy Ben-Hur lives as a rich Jewish prince and merchant in Jerusalem at the beginning of the 1st century. Together with a new governor, his old friend Messala arrives as commanding officer of the Roman legions. At first they are happy to meet after a long time, but their different politic views separate them. During the welcome parade, a roof tile falls down from Judah's house and injures the governor. Although Messala knows they are not guilty, he sends Judah to the galleys and throws his mother and sister into prison. But Judah swears to come back and take revenge. 9. Yo-Yo-Noel. In 1914, World War I, the bloodiest war ever at the time in human history, was well underway. However, on Christmas Eve, numerous sections of the Western Front called an informal and unauthorized truce where the various frontline soldiers of the conflict peacefully met each other in no man's land to share a precious pause in the carnage with a fleeting brotherhood. This film dramatizes one such section as the French, Scottish and German sides partake in the unique event, even though they are aware that their superiors will not tolerate its occurrence. 8. Apollo 13. Based on the true story of the ill-fated 13th Apollo mission bound for the moon. Astronauts Lovell, Hayes and Swigert were scheduled to fly Apollo 14, but were moved up to 13. It's 1970, and America have already achieved their lunar landing goal, so there's little interest in this routine flight. Until that is, things go very wrong, and prospects of a safe return fade. 7. Braveheart. William Wallace is a Scottish rebel who leads an uprising against the cruel English ruler Edward the Longshanks, who wishes to inherit the crown of Scotland for himself. When he was a young boy, William Wallace's father and brother, along with many others, lost their lives trying to free Scotland. Once he loses another of his loved ones, William Wallace begins his long quest to make Scotland free once and for all, along with the assistance of Robert the Bruce. 6. The Last of the Mohicans. British and French troops do battle in colonial America, with aid from various Native American war parties. The British troops enlist the help of local colonial militiamen, who are reluctant to leave their homes undefended. A budding romance between a British officer's daughter and an independent man who was reared as a Mohican complicates things for the British officer, as the adopted Mohican pursues his own agenda despite the wrath of different people on both sides of the conflict. 5. Black Hawk Down. Action/war drama based on the best-selling book detailing a near-disastrous mission in Somalia on October 3, 1993. On this date, nearly 100 U.S. Army Rangers, commanded by Captain Mike Steele, were dropped by helicopter deep into the capital city of Mogadishu to capture 2 top lieutenants of a Somali warlord. This led to a large and drawn-out firefight between the Rangers and hundreds of Somali gunmen, leading to the destruction of 2 U.S. Black Hawk helicopters. This film focuses on the heroic efforts of various Rangers to get to the downed Black Hawks, centering on Sergeant Eversman, leading the Ranger unit shot forward to the first Black Hawk crash site, warned Officer Durant, who was captured after being the only survivor of the second Black Hawk crash, as well as many others who were involved. 4. Blood Diamond. A story following Archer, a man tortured by his roots. With a strong survival instinct, he has made himself a key player in the business of conflict diamonds. Political unrest is rampant in Sierra Leone as people fight tooth for tooth. Upon meeting Solomon and the beautiful Maddie, Archer's life changes forever as he is given a chance to make peace with the war around him. 3. Schindler's List. Oskar Schindler is a vainglorious and greedy German businessman who becomes unlikely a humanitarian amid the barbaric Nazi reign when he feels compelled to turn his factory into a refuge for Jews. Based on the true story of Oskar Schindler, who managed to save about 1,100 Jews from being gassed at the Auschwitz concentration camp. A testament for the good in all of us. 2. Gladiator. Maximus is a powerful Roman general, loved by the people and the aging emperor, Marcus Aurelius. But for his death, the emperor chooses Maximus to be his heir over his own son, Commodus, and a power struggle leaves Maximus and his family condemned to death. The powerful general is unable to save his family, and his loss of will allows him to get captured and put into the gladiator games until he dies. The only desire that fuels him now is the chance to rise to the top so that he will be able to look into the eyes of the man who will feel his revenge. 1. Saving Private Ryan. Opening with the Allied invasion of Normandy on 6 June 1944, members of the 2nd Ranger Battalion under CPT Miller fight ashore to secure a beachhead. Amidst the fighting, 2 brothers are killed in action. Earlier in New Guinea, a 3rd brother is killed. Their mother, Mrs. Ryan, is to receive all 3 of the grave telegrams on the same day. The United States Army Chief of Staff, George C. Marshall, is given an opportunity to alleviate some of her grief when he learns of a 4th brother, Private James Ryan, and decides to send out 8 men, CPT Miller and select members from 2nd Rangers, to find him and bring him back home to his mother.